All right, so we have our house here, and we need to be able to get into it. So we are going to put some windows and doors into this house. And the great thing is you can just use a needle tool or a pencil to do that. I would use, one or the other. Don't use your fettling knife, as tempting as it is, right away. So you want to draw where you want your door to be. So just draw it out. You don't need to push really far in. How tall you want it to be. You can also put windows in there. You don't want to have windows right next to the corners. So when you do this, you want to make sure that you're being really careful not to have it right next to the corner. If it's a really thin area in between there, that makes it really hard for that to be strong enough to support your project. So you can put like little windows in there. I would say at least one door and 2 windows in your project. If you want to do some on the sides, you can do some on the sides. You would just draw those in where you want them. So and then you can even like do some designs up above, however you want to set those up. So once you get your windows and your door drawn, then you are going to take your fettling knife and you are going to start cutting them out. And it's really important that when you cut them out, that you don't turn in the clay. Okay, so when you're cutting out your door, you are going to start at the bottom and just kind of wiggle your way up. And I'm not going all the way through. I'm not using the whole blade. I'm just using about the 1/4 inch thickness of the blade just to kind of have more control. So I'm going to go in. Some people like to go on the other side and support with their hand on the other side just so that they can make sure that they go in. But once I get to the top of that, I'm going to stop and pull out. Then I'm going to go and back in, going horizontally and cut that way. Okay, so I'm going to cut that way. Then I'm going to lift up and then cut down. That gives me a lot more control and I won't accidentally lose it. Now, if I cut like that, it's going to completely out. You can do doors where it kind of pushes out and then you'd only cut like 3 sides. And I can show you, like if you wanted to do just don't do this side and then just like pull on it or push on it, you can get a door to kind of come out like that, so it would be attached. But I cut on all 3 sides, so you can pull that whole thing out if you want. If you want to keep it, like if you accidentally cut that side, just make sure you slip and score it so it stays in there. Alright, so that's how you would do your door. And then if you wanted to do like a little doorknob, you would just, roll a little ball and then make sure you slip and score it on there. And stick it on there like that. Okay, so that's how you do that. And then you would do your windows the same way, reinforce it, just make sure you get the bottom this time. And you would just cut out. Sometimes taking a finger on the other side will help poke it out. And you're just going to cut them out. And then of course you do your other sides and get it all done. You can take a finger and kind of smooth out your edges a little bit, or a damp sponge, not a sopping wet one, but a damp sponge. You can smooth out your edges and get those taken care of. As you are working and you are ready for your roof, I'll show you how to attach that in just a moment.